Hello everyone, welcome back to our JavaScript object-oriented programming series. In the last video, we learned about classes, constructor, and this binding. And today we are going to cover about the object prototype, prototype chain, and adding method to the object using prototype, right? So and by the end of this video, you will understand how the power behind inheritance in a JavaScript. So let's dive into that. So let me add the just basic things, HTML, right? And then I'm going to add this will be body script. So inside the script, we're going to write everything. So the question is, what is prototype? So in a JavaScript, every object has a prototype, which is another object that is inherit properties and method from, right? Method form. So what is a prototype? Every object has a prototype, which is another object it inherit properties and method from, right? So let's see a simple prototype. So first we'll create a variable that is a person, and we are going to say greet that will function, right? And we are going to write, we can say console.log, you can say here hello. We'll close this, and this will be next we are going to create constant student student and we'll say object dot create person, right? It's a person, right? And what are we going to do? We're going to call student dot greet. Say student dot student greet. So one thing you have to notice here, the student inherit the greet method, this greet method from the person, and this is called prototype based inheritance. It means inheriting the properties and method from the another object, and this is the object, and we are inheriting the greet method into the inside the student object, right? And we are accessing that is called prototype based inheritance. So let's run it and see what we get it here. And use this. See, we got hello, right? Next thing what you're going to do, learn about the prototype chain. So the prototype chain allow JavaScript to look up properties if they are not found in the object itself, right? So let's understand with that with example. So we'll create two variable, that is animal, and second one will be, we can say, any kind of animal. So we'll create animal, and we're going to create it, and then we will check true, right? And we can say rabbit, right? And the ob object dot create animal, and then we are going to say rabbit dot jumps to 2, right? Now what we're going to do, we're going to check if rabbit jumps or rabbit eats or not, right? Say console dot log, say rabbit dot jumps and we'll say console dot log, say rabbit dot eats, right? So if the property is not found on a rabbit, right, JavaScript check its prototype, that is a animal, and it will go inside the this prototype, and it will check automatically, right? So let's switch to the browser and see what we get here. We got true and true because we have written here that rabbit a rabbit jumps, right, that we have added here equals to true. And for the eats, it automatically go to the prototypes, and it checks that it is true or not. That's why it is returning for the both true. We can also add method by a prototype, right? So mm, basically what I mean to say, you can add method to a constructor prototype, so all objects here of them, right? So let's understand that with the example. So I'll just comment this. Later I it, uh, will create a function here, and we'll say function person, and then what we're going to do, we are going to say right, and we'll say this dot name equals to name, and close this, right? So we have created a function, and now we're going to say person dot prototype dot greet. So it's a greet equals to function, create a function, and then we'll say console dot log. This will be hello from the this dot name, right? Close this. Now what we're going to do, we are going to create object. So we'll say uh, constant, that will, and we'll say new person, and now we're going to call this. We'll say update. So what we have done, we basically we have created a function, and we have created a prototype and a object, and this is basically you're calling the object, right? So what, so this is basically a memory efficient, as method are shared by a, so we can see that this function, and the greet method is shared by the prototype instead of each object having its own, right? That is what called adding method by a copy. So yeah, we can see that hello, welcome to the blog, right? You and next thing what we're going to do, we are going to see the prototype versus object properties. So let me just copy this. So I've created this, and let me just go explain, or what I can, we can write it here. So we'll say um, dom dot read, right, equals to, you can say a function. We are going to say console dot log log, and we are going to say hello, and we'll close this. Now what we're going to do, we are going to call. So we'll say a block read. Let's see into the browser. So if an object has its own method, it overrides the prototype method, and this is, see, so this object has its own method, right? And rather than this, so what it is going to do, it will override this prototype, right? So let's switch to the browser and see what we get it here. Got hello, I am array block, and that's how you object prototype and a prototype chain work in a JavaScript. In the next video, we are going to learn about inheritance using extend and super, building on own prototype and classes. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. So I'll see you into the next one.